All right, welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'll be basically discussing about the Swift Algo X indicator, as well as my own indicator I coded called the ConFlux. So let me talk about the Swift Algo X. So if you go to your invite-only scripts, it's going to be this indicator on the bottom called Swift Algo X. So you're going to add that to your chart. Okay. And I'm trading in Q futures, so I usually trade it on the 1 minute time frame. So if you go to your settings tab, I usually before I actually did 5 minutes, um, which was my indicator sensitivity. So the indicator sensitivity has to be higher than the time frame you are trading on. Okay, since I'm on the 1 minute time frame, then my indicator sensitivity is 5 minutes. 5 minutes is obviously higher than the 1 minute. Okay. And for the EMA, I usually leave this by default. I usually leave this as 300. Sometimes I may change this to 200. Let's see if it makes any difference. 200. If you see my backtest setting, okay. Hold on. It's actually loading. So 75%. I may change that to 150. It's just the same. About 100. Just the same too. The lowest I would do is actually 50 on this one. Okay. So yeah, most of the time I do keep it as 300, but you can always play with it. Calculated bars. Sometimes I may change this to 0 if it does use all the available bars that's basically within your plan. Since I have the premium plan, so it basically optimizes all 20,000 bars since that's what's available on the premium plan. But it will drop down the win rate. As you see, it was 81%. It did drop down to 62%. The reason why is because it's using more data now to actually to calculate its signals. And you can also go back and see data from like a couple of weeks ago, so you can actually see more of those signals. Okay. So sometimes I do go back and forth with this. I do see myself most of the time using 5,000. Sometimes I may change it to 0, so I really go back and forth with it. But you can, obviously play with it and experiment with it. But most of the time, I'm using 5,000 now. Risk to reward. I keep this as 1 to 1. You can change this to 1 to 2 if you want, but it does drop down the win rate. Um, okay, it didn't really drop it down that much. It actually dropped it down from 81 to 75%. Um, so yeah, it's actually not that bad. If you can get even 50% and above with a 1 to 2, it's still pretty good. Even as low as 40% is still pretty profitable, but most of the time I'm just using 1 to 1 so I can actually hit those take profit a lot faster. So as you can see, it shows my backtest sitting as 81.82%. So it shows me I have to set my multiplier to 6, and then I have to set my period to 12. Because my current setting is 62, that has to match my backtest setting. In style tab, I leave everything as is. I do uncheck this box. Visibility, I change nothing, and that's literally all I do. Now, if you're trading this manually, you have to wait for like a buy signal, for example. So wait for a buy signal. The trend dashboard has to show bullish, ranging bullish, strength may be bullish too, just for example. And then it has to be above the email line, especially if it's sloping upwards. And then you can basically enter basically for a buy position. If the trend line is like flat, then like right there, for example, then you probably want to avoid the trade because it's actually ranging. But I even see some, like some sell or buy signals, even if the trend dashboard actually shows the opposite. Let's say this is a buy signal and it basically all shows bearish, it can still basically hit take profit. I've seen it for both buys and sells before. But obviously, if you're actually automating this, it only goes off the buy and sell signals. So yeah. Um, and sometimes I may actually trade the NQ on the 5 minute time frame. Actually, no, I think I may trade the NQ on the 1 minute time frame, but I think I actually changed my indicator sensitivity to 15 minutes. It's actually loading, so it's 75%. And I do check my settings basically before New York opens, just to see if I have to change anything. And I do check it again basically at nighttime before I sleep. And I do check it between 2 to 3 p.m. PST. That's a 1 hour market closure for the futures market. So those are my three main times, and I may check it as many times as needed throughout the daytime. And so some days I may not actually change it. Some days I may change it only once, and some days I may change it like maybe 2 or 3 times. It just depends. But I've been actually experimenting with this. So I may change it to the 5 minute time frame, but I'll still keep the sensitivity as 15 minutes. So it gave me 71.43%. And usually if it's like 50, 60%, I may stay out of the trade. I don't want anything basically below 70%. So if that actually makes sense. Okay, so I'm gonna introduce to you the conflux. So you will go to invite only scripts. It's gonna be this one by Legacy Pro. You see this symbol, that means it's a strategy. So we're gonna load that to the chart. Now let me give you basically what the conflux is exactly. So basically, conflux comes from the word confluence. Okay. So meaning it's using multiple confluences to basically generate buy and sell signals based on the indicator. Okay, and X just represents any indicator or Swift Algo X, whatever you want to take it. So yeah, that's why I call it the conflux. So it's basically a build alert. Okay, so um, just to reiterate, so you see Swift Algo X. This is not a strategy; it's an indicator because it does not have the strategy symbol. If you see this symbol, that means it's a strategy. Okay, so it's not an indicator. So conflux, I coded this into a strategy. So this is what it will look like by default. Okay. So what you want to do, you go to your settings tab and you can do long signal one. We're gonna go to Swift Algo X by signal only. And then we're gonna go to short signal one. We're gonna do Swift Algo X cell signal only. And then make sure you enable long signal one and enable short signal one. And make sure confluence requirement is on single because we're only using one source. And exit method, we're gonna do indicator exit. So we're gonna skip this part if it's on indicator exit. We're gonna go to take long, take profit because it's regarding the indicator. We're gonna go to Swift Algo X, take profit. Then long stop loss indicator, we're gonna go to Swift Algo X stop loss. And we're gonna do the exact same thing with short take profit and then short stop loss. And that's all you have to do. Okay. Go to Properties tab, you can adjust the size of the contracts. So instead of going traders post, for example, or Pine Connector, you don't actually have to adjust the size. You can just change the size right there. So I mean you can take 5 contracts if you want, you can take 10 contracts. If you're trading futures, if you're trading Forex, obviously lot size. So like 0.03 lot size or 0.08 lot size. So maybe you want to take 3.0 on lot size. So in this example, I'm just going to do 10 contracts or maybe just 1 contract is fine. And then you want to check on this on bar close. Then for the sell tab, leave everything as is. Visibility not needed. I like to uncheck this box though. Then after that, you hit OK. And that's really all you have to do. So what I want to do also, if you go back to Swift Algo X, you see how we have these sell signals, take profit signals. It's not really needed with this anymore because that's too redundant. So I like to remove all these buy and sell signals as well as all of this. It's not really needed. Why? Because we already have these long signals and take profit signals from the conflux. So it's too redundant. So no need to have that. So you can remove them off from the chart. And I like to actually make this take profit and stop loss zone more shaded. So I usually go to profit zone. I usually like to do 50% on all of them. So it will look something like this. Okay. So meaning, for example, so how this works is obviously it will enter long, exit the exit, take profit, into the long, stop for stop loss. So that's all it does. It just makes life a little bit easier. So the purpose of the conflux is number one is it just so whenever you automate the trades, you don't have to create 4 different alerts: one buy, one sell, one take profit, one stop loss. Because if you watch my other YouTube videos on automation with indicators like Swift Algo X, you do have to make 4 alerts. So in this case, you only have to make 1 alert. So it does actually free up a lot of your time. So that's the number one reason, just to make automation a lot easier. I can actually show you real quick. So whenever you make the strategy, go to new strategy. We'll just leave everything as is. Style systematic, leave as is. Asset class, whatever you're trading for me, futures, everything should be checked by default. Hit subscribe. We're just gonna just do this one. Hit create. They're gonna do check auto submit. Allow sites both bullish and bearish. Um, Jordan type market, XR type market. If you watch my other automation videos, you basically know what to do. If you're actually new to this video, I would recommend watching my other automation videos because I will talk more in depth. This is just a like straight to the point. Precision size no longer needed because you can now adjust the precision size under properties tab, so 1 contract. So it does save you more time. If you're automating this as an indicator, then yeah, you would need to do this. But if not, if you're using ConFlux, precision sizing can now be done in the properties tab. And then obviously for time filters, if you want this to trade within a specific time, trading window right there. And then after that, you just hit enable. And then Reperk, instead of doing trading view indicator, just do trading view strategy. So you copy that. And then you'll just make the alert on the conflux. So you delete this, just copy and paste the JSON message. Notification, you'll just copy and paste this Reperk URL. And that's basically all you do. And boom, see? Simple as that. So when you're making the alert, you no longer have to do it on the Swift Algo X. You can now officially do it on the conflux But yeah, it just makes life a little bit easier. Mainly because one alert is needed. Two, you can just do the precision sizing within the indicator itself instead. And also another reason, you can now have access to the strategy report, so you actually know how your strategy has been doing. And you can just adjust the tab, like you want to keep up with this one win rate. So if you do change the multiplier basically to 9 paired to 3, so it's on 66.67% strategy report. Oh, actually, no, this is NQ, my bad. I was supposed to do MGC gold. Gold is something I'm actually gonna experiment with. So with gold, I may actually test it on the 5-minute time frame instead. Indicator sensitivity to 15 minutes. And the multiplier, I'll just change that to 5, paired to 10, as stated in the trend dashboard. You can just keep that 0 if you want. It depends on you. It's actually loading. So I have to change this to 5 11. Okay. Give it a few seconds to load. There you go. All right. So if you see this, it gives you your P&L, $5,000 in USD, max drawdown 1,000. Took a total of 62 trades. And if you see the profitable trades, 66.13%, it matches what's on the dashboard. So it's pretty accurate. And if you go to list of trades, you'll see net P&L, but this does not actually take into consideration of commission fees, slippage, as well as the trading view delays and alerts. So just be mindful that this won't be as accurate when you actually, when it executes the trades in real time because of the slippage and the delays and alerts. But at least this will give you an idea on the trades. It's easier to do that in futures. It's kind of more difficult to do in forex because if you do like USD JPY, for example, metrics. See, I don't know how to actually interpret this into forex exactly, but it's just easier to do in futures in terms of the back testing, in my opinion. We're doing NQ. So yeah, that's gold. I'm probably gonna be experimenting with on gold. I do have one for futures. So this was on the 5-minute time frame. I think I did this on the 1-minute time frame actually. So yeah, so I did won this trade, won this trade. This was a loss, but I was actually back in profit. So I kind of like almost broke even there, but I'm actually still kind of testing what's the best settings for NQ. But in terms of future, I mean in terms of gold, I may actually consider using 5-minute time frame with 50-minute sensitivity, calculate bar 0, and see how that actually goes because the back test is actually really promising. And just an FYI, guys, I know I'm gonna be getting asked this a lot. I am not going to be giving this code out for free. I'm not gonna be giving this source code out. It will cost money. So if you go to it's actually on the WAP store. So if you type conflux, the link will be in my description as well. If you just type conflux, it will actually pop up. So it'll actually be legacy trades. So you can get access to it. It's only $15 per month. So it is a subscription. It's just gonna be $15 per month. The link will be in my description. But I'm not gonna be giving this code out for free. I'm not giving any free access to this code. Use it, don't use it, doesn't matter to me. It's completely up to you. But this will be available on the WAP store. It complements basically Swift Algo X really well. And you don't have to use it with Swift Algo X. You can use it with basically with any indicator out there, as long as the indicator has like buy and sell alerts and basically X alerts. But basically, what makes my indicator different from the others is because if you look at my settings, I have basically indicator exit. If your indicator only has buy and sell alerts, but there's no exit alerts, then you have to use take profit and stop loss, which you can use some points or ticks if you're trading futures, if you're trading forex, then obviously pips, and then you can put basically your point value there as well. But if your indicator does come with exit methods like this one, because Swift Algo X has the buy, sell, take profit, stop loss, so you can easily do indicator exit. So that's what makes my indicator different from the others, because mine actually has an indicator exit, and I'm probably going to be adding a time filter option probably in the next couple of weeks after an update. But you can always do another source, like you can do whatever source you want. For example, this is an example. Let's say overall trend. Then you have to enable enable long signal 2, and then this one would be also the same like that as well. And then you also have to enable this, and then confluence requirement, you have to change this to double confluence. So long signal 1 and 2 has to be met in order for a long signal to actually appear on the chart, and then the trade gets executed. So you have the option from anywhere from 1 to 3 signals. But as for me, I'm just going off the buy and sell alerts only based on the Swift Algo X indicator, right? But that's basically the rundown. You can play with it, do whatever you want with it. If you don't like it, just cancel the subscription. Doesn't really matter to me. But the link will be in the description of this YouTube video. And if you do purchase it, but let's say if you're having trouble getting access to this indicator, I will put my email, business email in the description. Or if you actually have me on Discord, just feel free to reach out to me. I can give you access if you're unable to get access to this indicator. Um, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.